Hello, friends, and welcome to yet another episode of Webisode. I am trying to bring the best people in the field of project management so that all of us can learn from them and can grow. Friends, I still remember an amazing thing which Nokia CEO said. We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. This was statement of Nokia CEO when Nokia really lost. Friends, if you remember, Nokia was the best phone. I had my first phone as Nokia. Really, they didn't do anything wrong, but they did one thing really bad. They did not change themselves. They did not follow agile methodology. You don't need to convince executive to make their organization agile. Let their competitors convince them. And Nokia was not convinced by Apple. They should have been convinced by Ericsson, Apple, and many other organizations that agility is the day. Agility is the thing. Today, our topic is evolution of project management from predictive waterfall methodology to agile approach. And our guest is Jaidev Kumar. Let me just give you a brief introduction of Jaidev Kumar. He's an agile coach, IT consultant, and end-to-end agile implementation expert. He's experienced in implementing agile methodology like Scrum, Kanban, exponential programming in all sort of enterprises. Experience of converting every traditional process to agile form, and that is something we will be trying to understand from him how we can convert traditional process to agile from collecting the requirement analysis, requirement engineering, release planning, release estimation, politics, team structure, building, agile test, maintaining, and other things. Well experienced for managing, motivating, training, and development a successful and productive team for agile environment. Without further delay, I would like to welcome Mr. Jadev. Ji, Mr. Jadev, how are you? So your mic is mute.
I'm fine, thank you, and nice to meet you all here all together. And hopefully, we will learn from each other. This is a good opportunity for everyone to indulge ourselves into a learning environment. So here we go. How can we start with that?
Okay, sir. I would like you to start with your life journey. How did you become agile coach and what are you doing nowadays?
Basically, agility is a name of change. It started from the perspective when I was doing my master's in Stockholm University from Sweden. So I got a thesis for a master's and I was searching that to complete it. So suddenly I got a thesis in a software house. And when I went there, I came to know that in Europe also software houses and high tech companies are not implementing the right process and procedures for completing their work. So
Hmm.
as my thesis supervisor started guiding me and said, okay, do they have this? Do they have this? Do they have this? And I said, no, they don't have anything. So when I started asking questions to those people who are working in the software house, and they said, no, we don't have any such thing. They
Okay.
didn't even have a post quality assurance department. So that was the point of that was triggering, basically triggering point. So like we started
Okay.
asking them question, and that interest kept on increasing. I learned how to create frameworks. I learned how to create processes and procedures, and how to
Okay.
build up a process within a model itself. Like for example, they were
Okay.
following waterfall model, and they
Okay.
didn't have any QA department inside. I started QA
Okay.
department with it, gave them artifacts, how to build up a process, how to build up a framework within it, and then those same people they said we want to convert ourselves from waterfall to agile. That is the thing that increased the interest, and I started working on it and learned the things gradually from the professor and books and all this. So the books, the theoretical things and practical things both went together, and they blended up and they made a very good experience of mine, like how to implement things from implement the things where nothing is there, or even the half cooked things are there. That's how, like that was the inspirational point.
Okay. Okay, that was a basically inspirational point. So you had an
Yeah.
awesome journey. What are
Hmm.
the three major lessons that anyone can learn from your journey and implement in their life right now?
Yes. The most important thing I would say, the three important one, number one things, do not depend on others. Like for example, if I know something, I know little, then I should say, okay, if I know little, I'll ask somebody else and they will teach me. No, they will not teach you. They might not have time, or they might not like have interest in you, or they do not like have time for you, or anything. You just have to do it yourself. Like never depend on others. Never depend on others
Never.
in your life journey. Depend on yourself. You can take help, but you
Okay.
do not stick to others like, okay, he is going to take me with him or her along with this journey. That will never happen. Actually, that will never happen.
Okay.
Okay. And the most
Okay.
important thing, and the other thing I would like to say is always do things with interest. If they interest you, then you do it. If they do not interest you, then do not do it, because you will never excel in the things which you do not make you like feel jolly or joyous, or you enjoy, if you do not enjoy. And the third thing is
Okay.
that be a committed person. When you start a thing, then finish it. Do not leave the things in the middle. These are the three things I have like in my life that I have been following, and I'll keep on following. And well, everybody has other things, but I have these three things to follow. Follow.
Never depends on other. Always do the things that interest you. This means follow your passion and be a committed
Exactly.
person. I mean,
Yes.
someone asked a question, we are following a passion, but most of the time we are unable to find the passion. So how can you guide us? How can we basically find things that interest us while maintaining our day-to-day job? Because we have to manage the bread and butter for our family.
Okay. Now let me give you an example. Now, beside the things which I am doing currently, I have other interests in my life also. For example, I would like to do a things which are made of wood. Like I want to work uh, like with the wood things, like carpentry things. Okay, now you see that interest is in idea also and in the carpentering thing also. Now, if I follow the, because carpentering thing which I don't have any experience, then I will not be able to earn my bread and butter. So in that case, I am doing my work together, whatever my passion is, and I am doing that work in my part time. So
Hmm.
slowly and gradually, we become the experts, we become the masters, we learn from it, and so one day, the day will come that that passion will lead us much far away from the one that other people are, from the people who are already in that field. The day will come, but it will take time, because everything has that cost to pay, and most of the time it is the time of your life. That's what I'm saying.
Everything has a time, and we have to pay the cost for it. But the most important thing is that we have to use step by step approach. Maybe we have to
Absolutely.
follow kaizen. We have to follow kaizen and continuous improvement slowly, and then don't move towards drastic change and then follow it. Next
Absolutely.
excellent idea, sir. One interesting question. I just love this question. I always ask this question in my web episodes. If you can go back in time and
Yeah.
change anything in your life, what would be the one thing that you would change?
I depended on others. I never want to. I should have done lots of things by myself. If I would not have depended on others, I would have done a lot more better than now I'm doing. That is the bad thing I did, and that is the lesson I learned from my life.
Never depend on others, right, sir?
Yes, yes, absolutely true.
Never depends on other. This is the lesson that you can put right now in your life, and I will add this thing into other lessons, because my
Yes,
friends, the lessons, if you don't depend, as Mr. Jadev has just told us, if you don't depend on others, you can succeed in your life.
Yes.
Okay.
We
Now
can
the
take help, but we should not depend on others like they will do completely things for us. That will never happen. And it should not happen. When we can do, it means we should do. We should not wait for others to do them for us.
what we can do, we should do. What we can
Yes.
do, we should do. This can be a theme of our next episode with you, sir, maybe. Now,
Yeah.
major question of how we can convert every traditional process to agile form. And this will be a two-way question. First part, how can we convert every traditional process to agile form? Is there a framework or anything like that?
You see, agility is the name that things should be simplified. What I would say that one should be an MS. What should one should be a MS? Now, what is MS? MS is master of situation. That's what I call. So once if you are in a dilemma that what can I do or what should we do in a project, if you are stuck somewhere, you don't know how to proceed further, then what we
Okay,
should do, we should be the master of situation. Using agility is does not mean that you should the main benefit of agility is that you can amend or you can mold the procedure according to your needs by not violating the manifesto of the agility in whatever methodology we are following in agility. Okay, now for example, I implemented Scrum in one company, one of the methodology of Agile. Okay, and what they said that okay, we have a user story, we have acceptance criteria, but we are facing lots of problems in quality assurance. Now, in Scrum, there is no definition of that or definition of defining the quality assurance separately. They have said that it is
okay,
integrated with the same sprint. Now, just saying a
okay,
simple tip that what I did to resolve this problem, I started making flow of events that was not mentioned in the manifesto of Scrum. That is self-created
okay,
by me, and said that okay, let's create a flow of events of the things that you are doing right now. For example, if they have a user story and it has 6 acceptance criteria, I created a flow of events. Okay, that a user will come, he will click here, and then this will happen. User inputs the field and then clicks the button and the lands on
okay,
this button,
okay,
and the button and the page should have this much content on it. And
okay,
then after they started doing this quality assurance, they said, no, now we don't have any problem because the things which were missing in the acceptance criteria are all defined in one flow. So that's what I'm saying, that one should be like self-innovative. If we
okay,
are self-innovative, then we can put agility or agile methods in anything. That could be construction, that could be mechanical engineering, that could be electrical engineering. That depends upon that what are our artifacts. The artifacts can be molded the way we want by using the agility methods. And agility methods are many, like Kanban, Scrum. Everybody knows that those are all bookish things. uh, but how to use them, that is also written, but how to really implement them according to your business needs, that is the job of consultant. They will mold the things according to your needs. That's what I'm saying. So they
okay,
can be molded in every way we want.
okay, okay.
Yes.
So Hasib has asked the question that it is related to what we are talking about. He's also a software engineer working in a software house. Normally, IT companies don't follow agile methodology. In your
Yeah.
opinion, they should follow agile or not? So I will add something here that
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they follow agile, which approach to follow?
Yes, that's the true thing. Like, that's the thing that needs analysis. That what is your need. For example, there is one methodology in Agile which is called Crystal. That is
Okay,
not widely used. It is not widely used. It is used only in car companies, like in automobile industry, because they have different
okay,
type of, because there are a lot of checks in it. What are those checks? That inventory check, final product check, in between the check. Like there are lots of checks in it because quality assurance is the main concern in automobile industry. So they use Crystal, and due to this Crystal, they they kept the name crystal just because everything is crystal clear and transparent, whatever they see during the process of development. That is the thing. Now, how to choose a methodology for a company? It depends on your needs and business. If your business is IT, then for sure you can choose one of them. For example, Scrum or Kanban. And how to choose between these two? If your product is your own product, okay, then you
Okay.
can use Scrum. If your product is in banking industry, that is also your own product, then you should use Kanban, because in banking industry, Kanban works best. Honestly saying, if your project is
Okay.
outsourced from someone else, then you can use Scrum. Scrum best fits in you. If your company
Okay.
is like taking projects for short projects, like 15 days projects, seven, like 1 month project. If it's 1 month project, you should not use Scrum. You should use Kanban. Kanban best fits to your needs. Scrum works better when the project is of 6 months or bigger, because in that you
Okay.
break the project into releases, because release process is the same as in waterfall in Scrum and Agile
Okay.
also. Yeah, but how to
Okay.
choose and how to determine that my business needs which methodology? I mean, of course, you can take the help from any consultant also. They will guide you better in a way if you cannot analyze
Okay.
yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yasir has asked, agile methodology is good at implementable in IT sector. Yeah, we all
Yeah.
know that. But when we talk about mechanical work like dam construction, how can we follow agile methodology? And this
Yeah.
is a big why. So you, as you know, PMP exam is moving from waterfall methodology to hybrid methodology, where we will have 50-50% agile and waterfall. I am also very much worried that how construction industry like dam, hydro, and maybe road, how they will follow this methodology.
Actually, they can follow in mechanical, in construction also, like for the like these roads and all these things, mechanical also. The only thing we need to do before implementing agile is, for example, Scrum. It can also be implemented in mechanical engineering. It can also be implemented in construction engineering also. The reason is that we should be able to analyze that what risk is associated with it. If we are able to calculate the risk before the implementation or choosing any methodology, and we should be able to, and we are able to do this because we know the norms, what are norms of project completion in any area, because project completion in any area depends on its culture also. For example, if you pick up a project in Europe, then their culture is different. There won't be any hurdles.
Okay.
Like if you have a license, if you have a certificate, if you have a no objection certificate, nobody will stop you. Nobody is going to hurt you. Everybody will move from that place. Nobody is going to do anything to you. But if it's in our subcontinent, then there are lots of hurdles. People will be there. Someone will come, this plot is mine. Someone will say this area is mine. Someone will start fighting. You see, depends on the risk factors calculated, like it over planning and chosen methodology is highly affected by the culture of the area where the project is being developed. If you are in a construction
Okay.
industry, right? So
Okay. Okay.
there is no harm in choosing Scrum or Agile for the for operating the project. It's not a problem at all. That that is the things can be broken into small minor chunks, and that can be assigned to people for working, and reports can be taken, and then completion reports can be built. It's very nice and easy. It's very easy to implement Scrum in construction industry and as well as in mechanical industry. I can do this. I know
Okay.
it's not very famous and people are not doing it, but it is evolving technology. People are moving towards it, but someone has to take a step and build it, and build or write the documents for them, write the guides for them so they can read and implement those things. That's true.
Okay. We have a question. For operation we can follow agile, but for
Yeah,
maintenance project it is not easy to implement agile. What to do in that situation? And
yeah.
Jadev, I have to say something here before you answer this question. I am really getting very good questions, especially in this episode. The people are getting involved inside this topic, so I would say this is the hot topic of the day. So please answer.
Thank you, thank you. So this basically for maintenance project, Scrum cannot be implemented. Like but for maintenance projects, it's not easy to implement AI. It can be for maintenance project. The best thing in Agile that can be chosen is Kanban. Kanban is basically designed for the maintenance projects. Why?
Okay,
Because it deals in task-wise checklist. All the tasks
okay,
written in Kanban are like a checklist. This one is done, or you can change the order also. You can change the priority without any approval, someone else's approval. Because if we follow Kanban for the maintenance project, it is the best fit. It is the methodology of
okay.
Agile called Kanban that fits best for maintenance project. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay. So use Kanban for the maintenance project and use Scrum when you have a project that is all 6 months, and maybe use XP when you have a 1 month project. Okay,
Exactly.
now one thing.
Yeah.
How basically we calculate risk in an
In
agile?
Agile.
We are doing things, yeah, in agile. We are doing things in a rapid environment. Some
Yes.
risk like COVID, they can hit us and they can destroy us because we don't have reserves so high as we do in normal traditional project. We have contingency reserves, we have management reserve, but in agile we don't have that. So what to do about this?
In Agile, there is no, you are right, there is no special part of it for calculating method risk in it. You are absolutely correct. It is also evolving. People are doing work on it. Even like people use waterfall methodology or PMP methodology, especially Prince. Prince provides very good facility for calculating even artifacts for calculating the risk prior to confronting in Prince 2. But PMP is also evolving day by day, and we can do. People
Okay,
use PMP and Prince 2 for calculating risk, and do in
okay,
after calculation, they mold their agile methodology and use this in their project. Because exactly
okay,
in Agile, there is no artifacts I haven't seen so far that can calculate risk uh,
okay.
particularly. Yes.
Can you just elaborate basically how Prince uses methodology for risk? Because BMI has a complete risk management professional certification, and then they have a complete chapter on this. But if you can help us, how basically Prince help us to calculate risk so that we can learn more about it?
Actually, Prince, I'm not an expert of Prince too, basically, because
Okay,
I studied a lot more earlier before going for the Agile, because Prince
okay,
was facilitating things for calculation of risk, all these things, and risk
okay,
mitigation
okay, okay,
prior to passing to the project. But PMP was that was my analysis. That PMP was
okay,
like you have to go through every process in order to see, oh, this was the risk, so this is the risk is calculated at the time when you confront it. But
okay,
Prince 2,
okay,
yeah, yes. So
okay.
in Agile, there is no such thing that can give us an overview of the risk before going into the project or implementing it. So we have to use the old so far. So far, people are using the old methodology, and then they are implementing Scrum or Kanban, whatever it is, into the project they were working for.
So, Mr. Jadev, I can say that we are using hybrid methodologies in even in software industries. For risk
Perfect.
management, for requirement identification, we are using waterfall methodology. Then for making of the product, we are using agile, scrum, and things like that. And I think because PMBOK 7th edition is coming and PMI is changing PMP in January to agile approach. So maybe I'm not sure. Maybe we will have something also to deal with the risk. Being said that, I would like to focus on the next question. Very important
Yes.
question. What are the
Yes.
what are the What are the top three skills that are required for future project management and for agile coach? If anyone want to become agile coach or a project manager in agile methodology, what are the top three skills required for that?
Top three skills required for to become an agile project manager. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Number one, that one should be able to analyze the things to their needs. Like we should be able to analyze what we need. Now, before answering this question, I would like to say something about the thing that you said, that we are following hybrid technology rather than following something very much pure. For example, like waterfall pure, or maybe agile pure, or whatever. We are not following anything so purely. The reason for this is, most of the time project managers are not in a mood or not willing to change anything
Okay.
according to their needs. Like, change something, mold it the way you are, according to your requirements. And there's a reason for this. Why? Because people say, okay, let's deliver this project. Let's get rid of it. Let this release go. What do we have to do? Okay, you want to go for this? Okay. With now, before this, I would say, in extreme programming and Scrum, there's a little bit difference. Like
Okay.
one week sprint can be made in extreme programming, but in Scrum it cannot be made.
Okay.
Now, what I have seen in different companies, people are following Scrum. Okay, what are you following? You are following Scrum. What they say actually. So when they say we are following Scrum, and ultimately after 1 month or 2 months, you will say they are following 1 week sprint. So do you ask them, why are you following 1 week sprint? It should be like 2 week sprint, because
Okay.
it does not allow the manifesto of Scrum. They say, it doesn't matter. We just want to get the things done. Who knows? So that becomes automatically hybrid without
Okay.
knowing. Spontaneous hybrid, even within the agile. So within the
Okay.
agile, they become a spontaneous hybrid. So it is very famous, or it is very very unavoidable, inevitable to become hybrid within agile and traditional. So in
Okay.
that, the reason for becoming not following the any methodology purely is because people don't want to change. And if they want to change, they have to work on it. They have to find the right way, and strict, and that requires time, and there's a pressure from the management to deliver a project, so that nobody's taking willing to take the pain of it. Otherwise the
Okay.
method would have been invented so far and recognized. Soon I will
Okay.
write one article on pure methodology for calculating the risk using AI. It is in like half cooked, and I'll publish it soon. Yes,
That will be great if you can share that article, and I will post it according to whenever I post this thing. So we were
I
talking
will.
about three skills. First was analysis of a need. Other two
Analysis
skills.
of our need. Yeah, the first skill was analysis of the needs. That what do you need and why do you need.
Okay.
The second thing, you should be able to stop and release. Means we should be able to stop the things which are coming in, which are not good for the current project or current sprint or current flow of the work, and you should be able
Okay.
to release the things which are already complete and not no more work is required, and you should not keep them with you. It means incoming and outgoing of the new requirements should be well controlled. Of course,
Okay.
Agile welcomes the change within an ongoing project, but that does not mean that anything can come at any time, even before 1 day of the release. This is not possible. And the third skill
Okay.
they need is to define or be able to mold the process, or be able to invent a process, or be able to customize the things the way they want, or the way project needs. Actually,
Okay.
if they have three skills, they are perfect agile project managers.
Need assessment. He need to do proper need assessment. He need to know how to stop and release the product, because changes are welcome, but you cannot change all the time.
Yeah.
And the most importantly, you need to be able to tailor or mold the process according to your requirement. One last question, sir. How much important, how much crucial communication is
Yes.
for agile
Yes.
project, and especially how much important is active listening?
It's very important because I have been asking different people who just can talk English. If you ask them, if people even don't know what is communication skill is. I asked one person, he was a very senior guy, and he said, I said, what is communication skill? I will not take his name. He's my friend also. He said that communication is all about talking English. If you have good English, you have good communication skills. That is what he replied. In fact,
Okay,
in fact, communication skill is not dependent on any language. The basic communication skill definition I would say is that you should be able to make other person understand what you are thinking, or you should be able to write the thing what you are thinking, and the other person should understand the same what your thinking is, no matter whatever the language is. It means your communication skill is good.
okay. So language is
Communication skill
not
is
important.
not
Okay,
depend. Hmm. But communication skill
communication.
means you should be able to explain the other person what you in any language, but
Okay,
should be exactly the person should understand what you're thinking. It doesn't mean that
okay,
what you're thinking, you're writing something else, and the person who reads understands something else. It means that things
okay.
will go wild.
Okay, 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 Jadev.
Yeah.
I really love the conversation and the way we are going. I think we can go maybe 2, 3 hours, but we have to be time constraints. Otherwise, we will not be
Yeah,
good
sure, sure.
project
No problem.
managers. So,
It was
so
really
thank you
very.
very,
Thank you
thank you
so
very
much. It
much.
was really very fascinating for me to talk to you, and it was very good. And I enjoyed talking here and answering the questions and talking to you also. It was really a very pleasure moment for me, and I'm grateful to you for arranging such a good interview session and sharing knowledge with your knowledge and with my knowledge. Because the more we share, the more we learn. Is the methodology everywhere. Thank you so much. Everything for everything that you have done, Amer
Thank
Ali. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sharing is caring and sharing is learning. With this,
Yes.
we end our session. But before ending, I would just like to share you guys the fall of Nokia, the fall of the giant Nokia teaches
Yeah.
us all a very valuable lesson. Learn
Yeah.
from yesterday, live for today, hope
Yeah.
for tomorrow. The important thing is not to
Yeah.
stop questioning. As agile organization, team and team members, we must constantly question
I
what
heard her.
could we do
Yes.
better in order
Yeah.
to improve continuously. With that, I'll end this video. Thank you very
Yeah.
much,
Thank you so
Jadev.
much.
Okay, bye bye.
I would add one thing to your knowledge
Yes,
of
yes.
about Nokia, that I had a chance to go to Nokia in Finland. I visited the company, and
Okay,
they said that they are using the methodology for management and project management which nobody uses in the world. You know why? Because they had in the world people use either horizontal technology for reporting or vertical, and those people who are using both a hybrid of horizontal and vertical reporting system. And how they were managing,
okay,
they can only
okay,
manage it, and it was working perfectly. And that was the cause of
okay. It was
failure.
working.
You are right.
Okay. 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 Thank you for
Okay.
sharing that
Thank you so
insight.
much.
Okay,
Thank
Jadev.
you.
See you till next time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Same thing. Bye bye. Bye bye.